Welcome back, my friends. My name is Eric. This is Rome, and we are back with some more Rogue Trader with the beta. It started out today. I was a little slow to get into it. I just wasn't feeling anything today. You know what I'm saying? I've been in front of the computer, but I just wasn't feeling like being an active participant in the world. But we're here now because I'm probably not going to have internet tomorrow. So we got to get something out. So let's take a look at it. Let's hop into a new game, and we'll see. Main story. Okay, well, I guess other storylines will be, other story modes are coming soon, it says here. Okay, take up the mantle of a rogue trader, a scion of the ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate, and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of the Von Valencius as it faces multiple dangers, from a traitor amongst its ranks to the numerous enemies seeking to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. That's a hell of a sentence. It is up to you to hold the reins of shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the rogue trader dynasty that finds itself in the vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes rise as you cross the paths of the most powerful adversaries and rivals that chase their own goals in the darkness of the Coronis expanse. All right, we got all sorts of stuff here. We've got a normal, we've got a core. We are going to leave it on normal for now, because our goal is to see as much of the game as we can, not to make the game as difficult as possible. But I'd like you to be able to see that not only can you select these overall levels, but you can see we can also scroll down here, and we can see all the individual things that we could modify on our own if we so choose, I guess. Show notifications about revealed locations, received items. Sure, we're going to leave all that on for now. Like I said, we're not going to mess with it. We're going to go normal, I guess, as intended. We can use a custom character here. We're not going to. We're going to make our own. But you can see we've got Hecata, the female version of Hecate, I guess. Hecate? I don't know. We've got Darius. He's got a man bun. Thinks he's a pirate. All right. And we've got Borador. He is clearly our commissar style. I don't have the camera on. Actually, I do know where my commissar hat is. But we are going to create a custom character because we can. And because, oh my God, the yawn just snuck up on me. And because they didn't let us last time. So create your very own rogue trader from scratch. The possibilities are endless when it comes to customizing your character and choosing their homeworld, gender, and background. You can also choose from a wide variety of abilities and skills, such as combat skills, social skills, and technical skills. These abilities and skills will determine how your character interacts with the world, what kind of challenges they can overcome. Finally, you choose your character's doctrine. Each doctrine path offers its own unique sets of challenges and opportunities, so choose wisely. With all these customization options at your fingertips, you can create a rogue trader that is truly one of a kind and embark on an adventure unlike any other in the world of Warhammer 40,000. All right. Character unlike any other, as long as it looks like one of these 17 dudes and dudettes. Okay, I like the gun. Yeah, I mean, I have the hat, so it feels like I should do the hat, although I do need to make some sort of hat logo, you know what I'm saying? Look, I can't ever mouse over the picture. No matter where I move, the picture moves away. You're just chasing it forever. Again, good hat. Okay, now we're more of a ruffian side. Very Commodore. Okay. Happy. Oh, I like that. Very ecclesiastical. Also very ecclesiastical. Okay. I kind of want that just for the hat, if I'm honest. But I'm not sure I want to... I don't know. So we're going to have some routes to go. And I'm kind of thinking for this one, we go a little bit more along the edges of hearsay. Hearsay? Heresy. There we go. There's some hearsay involved in heresy as well. So I'm kind of wondering... I don't know, she seems the most disreputable to me. I mean, he's pretty disreputable too, but she's got a knife, and a knife just screams disreputable. So that's what we're going with. All right, next. We've got some options. We can be from... Oh, look at that. All right, Death World. Upon Death Worlds, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself takes aggressive and destructive forms and inimical to human life. While it's exceptionally difficult to colonize, many Death Worlds possess valuable resources that require an outpost or other human presence on the planet's surface to harvest. These harsh environments result in some of the hardiest and most resilient populations in the galaxy. Those tested and found wanting die young. All right, so we get survival instincts if we're from here. Once per combat, when the wounds of a Death World character drop below 30%, they gain 20% temporary wounds to their maximum. All right, so we go down a little bit. We also get a 20% bonus to dodge and armor while they have at least one temporary wound from any source. Okay, that's pretty cool. We're going to get some strength. Physical muscle and physical power. Strength characteristic allows character to lift heavier objects and punch foes harder. We get some additional toughness, determines how easily a character can shrug off injury, as well as our resistances. Okay. Agility, oops, there we go. Measures our quickness, reflexes, and pose. Allow a character to manipulate delicate machinery with finesse, keep their footing while crossing treacherous terrain. This characteristic also determines the character's movement rate. Higher the agility, the farther they can move. There's that next shot, I was telling you. If the character uses a melee weapon, then their dodge reduction will be equal to their agility score. Okay, well, we get a -2 intelligence. Strong intelligence value, recall huge volumes of data, huge tracts of land, correlate esoteric clues, and determine if an ancient archaeotech relic is genuine or not. And fellowship. Okay, so we're not as good a leader. Persuasiveness, ability to lead, force of personality, having strong fellowship makes for a character who can ingratiate himself or herself in this case. And well, I don't know, maybe she does call herself a him. I don't know. Gender is fluid. Into a gathering of suspicious, forge menials, or make skilled trades with wily vendors. Now, I see this character as being smart, and I think a reasonable leader, more of kind of a very disreputable Indiana Jones, right? So we've gone from archaeologist to treasure hunter, but that doesn't mean we're a bad archaeologist. It just means what we find doesn't get published or go in the museum. Right, that's what it means. That's kind of where I see us going. So, so I think this, as cool as it is, doesn't fit us. Voidborn. All right, birthed in the belly of a void vessel or aboard ancient orbital satellite, those who live their life on void ships become inured to some extent to the reality-altering process of warp travel and in living in low to or zero gravity environments. In many cases, the features are drawn, their skin pallid, they may have minor deformities or oddness of speech, gait, or general appearance that sets them apart. This homeworld is missing some content. Okay, so we don't have all of this one yet. We do see a willpower bonus. Demonstrates their ability to withstand the horrors of war, the terrors of space, the dreadful opponents they are bound to encounter in their missions. High willpower allows the character to exert control of a crowd of near-riding hab workers or interrogate a captured heretic. It's often used when wielding and resisting psychic powers. Okay, and then a strength or intelligence bonus and a strength minor. Okay. This works really well. It's a shame that this was not in here because this works great for rogue traders, right? I mean, you know, we're family. We could have been on another ship. We could have been on this ship, you know. It's hard to say. I mean, we don't know enough about it, but it makes sense for a rogue trader to have been born on a void ship. All right, Hive World. All right, Hive World's population is so dense they frequently great swaths of surface of the world are covered with gargantuan cities of towering spires that pierce the atmosphere. Hive worlds are vital to the welfare of the Imperium and are the beating heart of its economy and war machine. They produce munitions for the Emperor's armies and vast manufacturers, mine valuable minerals, and refine fuel for the Imperial fleet. Innumerable regiments of the Astra Militarum are raised from the massive populations as well. Also work in progress. Fellowship and agility bonuses, willpower negatives. That one's here. All right, well, some of these are here. Forge World. This one does not have a description, but otherwise appears to be here. Oh, I see, because these we don't get, we get an attribute modifier, but we don't get a feature. So this one gets subskin armor, all right? +5, +2 times a toughness % bonus to their armor. All right, so we would want, we want to raise our toughness, and they do get a toughness bonus. and an intelligence bonus, and a negative to fellowship. So obviously Forge Worlds, for those that aren't familiar with the Warhammer 40k, these are like Hive Worlds, except they are giant planet-wide factories, essentially, right? And they make they keep the war machine running, right? They keep it ticking over. Somebody's got to make all those bolt guns and Lehman Russes and all that sort of stuff has to come out of somewhere. And essentially these giant factory forges, Forge Worlds are where those are done. And you can see here, it looks like we got some other options. So that's a subskin implant. Oh, here we go. This one's going to give us a weird that. Oh, well, they gave it to us on one of them, but not on the others. All right, that's fine. Forge Worlds are the domain of the Adeptus Mechanicus, given over to the demands of the vast macro industries. Each is blessed with a higher level of technology than the wider Imperium as a whole, and many arcane wonders are commonplace in the labyrinths of ferrocrete and steel. At the direction of the Magi, the cult Mechanicus, the bulk of a Forge World's population is utilized as a labor force, while the few fortunate may be inducted into the ranks of the Adeptus Mechanicus itself. All right, this one says it's missing some stuff. We do have an analytic system. We're going to get a bonus to critical hit chance. Intelligence, toughness, again a negative to fellowship. I think Forge World works well for us as well, for my thought, because you see a lot of the people that think that technology is interesting for its own sake. You're already a little bit heretical of worshiping the machine god, already. So you're already kind of on the fringe of the allowable kind of, imperial cult, so to speak. And you have enough learning to be interested in more, right? It's always the ones that are a little bit smarter and have a little bit more of knowledge that cause the most problems. All right, locomotion implants. This one is going to give us a movement bonus and bonus to dodge. I like that. We still see the intelligence and toughness bonus in the fellowship negative. We've got a feudal one, which is a strength and weapon skill. Imperial World is one of a million planets united by a belief in the immortal God Emperor, hailing from a hyper-technological societies to grimy feudal populations. The inhabitants of countless worlds offer fealty and devotion to the master of humanity and the Imperial Creed taught by his servants. Most Imperial worlds are ruled by a planetary governor and support a thriving ruling class of some sort, known usually as its nobility. All right, again, we don't get a bonus modifier here. And, somehow I made it move without hitting something, or not hitting what I thought I hit. Same one. This one is feudal. This one is military, so this one gets us ballistic and perception. We haven't read perception yet, but it measures the character's awareness and acuteness of their sensors. The characters who has high perception value can pick out a stray bolt or shell casing left amidst the underhive morass, or tell when somebody is being deceitful. That would be a good one too. I kind of like, let's go for critical hit chance. Is that what I want? So we got survival instinct. That has the most benefits at the moment, but not ones I think that deal well. Ballistic skill and perception, I think probably do work for us, as does toughness and intelligence. And this one does get us a bonus, whereas this one doesn't. So we're gonna go with this just because it's the one that has a feature. Although apparently not quite everything, but that's okay. So now we get an origin. So an Astra Militarum commander. Astra Militarum is essentially your standard standing army. Your standards. I think I said standard twice and then went into standing. It's not a great sentence. Don't judge me. Commonly known as the Imperial Guard, is the primary fighting force of the Imperium and the first line of defense from the myriad threats which endanger the existence of the humanity in the 41st millennium. You have served as one of the commanders of the Astra Militarum Regiment, commanding thousands of lives and winning battles in the name of the God Emperor. This is going to give us combined arms. It's going to give us ballistic skill and perception, so we would be doubling down on what we've already got bonuses for. We're also going to get athletics and Medicae if we go with that. And then we will be able to upgrade our perception Medicae going forward. We also get some talents. We get distraction. Single shot area affected, gain a plus 20. While the Astra Militarum commander is under the combined arms effect, their single shot and area effect attacks gain plus 20% to dodge reduction, parry reduction, and cover penetration against enemies that are adjacent to the commander or their allies. Okay, so if we've got, like, say, a melee character that runs in against somebody with a high dodge, your Eldar, something like that, they're going to get they would have a dodge reduction when we shot them, essentially. Okay. Drown them in shots. All their allies gain a plus 5% to rate of fire for every attack they've made since the beginning of this effect. Nice. So this combined arms effect does a lot for us. Friend in need. Killing an enemy adjacent to their ally grants the commander an additional 10 momentum. All right. So again, if we're the one that get the killing blow on said, space elf, then we get an extra 10% momentum. Unflinching heroism. Every time we use a heroic act, the commander gains plus 5 to all their characteristics till the end of combat. That's pretty good. And shoulder to shoulder, if we're adjacent to an ally, we deal an additional plus 10 plus a perception bonus damage to the enemies that are adjacent to our allies. Okay, so again, we have to be adjacent to an ally, and we have to be attacking an enemy that's adjacent to an ally. Not necessarily the same ally, I don't think, just an ally. Okay. That one, honestly, those seem like they're going to be difficult for me to min-max easily. Commissar. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is your standard military. This is who I like to play, because these are men and women like yourself that are fighting against the horrors of the universe with nothing but essentially a flashlight in their hands, that if you wave it over enough time, maybe eventually it does enough sunburn damage to kill the bad guys, right? As opposed to your giant space marines and your other superhuman monster, whatever they may be out there in the universe with all these special abilities. These are just you and me up against it with no superpowers, right? There's something in that story that strikes a resonance with me, an Army veteran myself, that the other factions just don't strike. So this is one of my favorite factions, but I don't think it fits as well with what we're doing here. Commissar. These are your Russian political agents, right? These are the guys that shoot your own members in the face when they try to run away. Yeah, that's who these guys are. Officially, they're there to keep morale up. The reality is, we just murder you unless your morale gets better. Commissars of the Officio Prefectus are ruthless officers charged with maintaining the morale, discipline, and fighting spirit of the Astra Militarum Regiment. Used to be one of these servants of God Emperor, a living symbol of the Imperium's authority, regarded in a mix of fear and awe by their subordinates. They get let's give them hell. Next, single shot or single target melee attack applies the following. Targeted enemy. They become marked. The ally who killed the marked enemy gains an additional turn. Oh. Okay, so any ally can get that if they get the killing blow. They get an additional turn with plus 2 AP action points and plus 4 movement points. If we target an ally, all allies gain an additional action point and 3 movement points for the next round, once per combat. And the Commissar themselves. So it looks like I don't know if that means I'm the one that cast it, or if it means it can be cast on me. The Commissar themselves cannot gain bonuses from this ability. Why doesn't it just say that there? Why did I have to click into it? Okay, that's fine. So now we know. All right, we get weapon skill, fellowship, coercion, athletics. Fellowship and coercion can be raised. We get put your back into it. Under let's give them hell, we get while a Commissar's ally is under its effect, they suffer plus 50% to all incoming damage, yet the targeted ally gets more action points and movement points. Okay. So they get to move more, they get to do more, but if they get hit, sucks to be you. We pushed them, we prodded them out with our bolt gun in the back of their head out into the line of combat there. To battle. While Commissar is adjacent to the enemy, all their allies, I assume they mean the Commissar, not the enemy, gain the Commissar's fellowship bonus divided by 2 plus the resolve. So half of whatever fellowship bonus gets added to the resolve. And this. Yep. Vagabond. Well, here we go. This is a little closer to what we were talking about right here, right? Imperium survives and prospers as no small part due to the narrowness of its vision, but a rebellious mind such as yours could not be so easily constrained. The dark paths of smugglers and renegades that wind behind the facade of imperial society offer a dangerous refuge for those unwilling to bow to the law, and you used to be one of these dangerous, yet resourceful individuals. Missing some content. Weapon skill and perception, awareness and logic, all this works very well for what we're thinking. and we will be able to upgrade our perception and our awareness. Awareness, I don't think we've read this one yet, encompasses a subconscious ability to react to things that the conscious mind may not perceive. Notice threats, ambushes, traps, cleverly hidden objects, or slight changes in the environment. Like that. This is a strong contender right here. Ministorium Priest. Again, they look awesome. And while the Emperor himself said that nobody should worship him, now that he doesn't get a say in it anymore, we all worship him. The Ecclesiarchy, known formally as the Adeptus Ministorium, is the vast institution that oversees the galaxy-spanning religion of the Imperium. The Ecclesiarchy's complex hierarchies of cardinals, missionaries, preachers, and zealous laity ensure that the prescribed prayers and invocations are made and teach the masses to guard against hearsay and deviancy. You used to be one of these fiery and charismatic individuals concerned with keeping a close watch on your congregation. All right, if we went this route, we would get Warhim. Grants momentum equal to the Ministorium Priest's willpower, will bonus ×2. So double whatever our willpower bonus is, adds to our momentum. Also grants an additional momentum bonus equal to the Priest's willpower bonus for each enemy that is either in a 5-cell radius of the Priest or was hit by the Priest this turn. All right, pretty cool. We will talk about momentum later, but it is one of the kind of core mechanics to this. Toughness defines how easily a character can shrug off injury, as well as how, we saw that. Toughness and willpower. We also get a skill bonus for lore, Imperium, right? So that's understanding, exactly what it says, the lore of the Imperium, as opposed to alien lore or something like that. Medicae. Again, medical skills, we can upgrade willpower and lore as we go up. We get Litany of Purification. All enemies in the area of effect of the Warhim ability gain 1 stack of Disturbed. Enemies that are adjacent to the priest gain 2 stacks. All demons in the area suffer damage equal to the priest momentum restored. Also, all demons in the area of the effect suffer damage equal to the priest momentum restored while using this ability. I don't know what that means. As we gain momentum, I think what it means is as we gain momentum, once we've kicked off this ability, as we gain momentum through our normal actions that we're doing, demons will suffer damage equal to said momentum gains. I think that's what that means. Litany of Hatred. Minotaur Warhammer ability, gain the priest's willpower divided by 2 for single shots and attacks of opportunity for 1 round. All right, so damage bonus also based on our willpower, and Shield of Faith, a bonus to armor in attacks when attacked by demons and warp damage. All right, and our resolve is increased as well. All right, Navy Officer. I don't think I need to explain this one. I mean, the hat kind of says it all, right? The Imperial Navy is responsible for the fleets of void ships that assert dominance of the Imperium against stars and fulfill other duties connected to the void and warp travel. Used to be a Navy officer and a commander of a void ship, hardened by numerous battles and famous for resounding victories. This one would also work really well for our character as somebody that is sailing the the 7 seas of cheese out there. We see a lot. And we're not necessarily the most moral because we're in the Navy. So we are likely to wander off the path, right? Obviously, we're going to at some point want to control our own void ship. So getting us a spot in there, if we are one of these rogue trader families, getting us buying our commission within the Navy is great experience for being part of one of these families. It also gets us agility and fellowship. Commerce and demolition are our skills. So those work really well, and we'll be able to upgrade agility and demolition. The demolition is the one that's kind of, but you know what, maybe. We do get brace for impact for 1 round the Navy officer and their allies in a 3-cell radius, gain +2 to deflection for each doctrine taken by the Navy officer. They also cannot be forcefully moved or over-penetrated. All right. Over-penetration goes through one and into the next person. So if we got a bunch of people into a group, we're going to get a bonus to deflection, and those 50 cal rounds or larger are not going to go through me and into the first mate, or more accurately, through the first mate and into me, because that's the truly important bit. It would give us Do Not Falter. All allies affected by the Brace for Impact ability do not suffer negative effects of melee superiority until the end of combat. And Scatter. All allies affected by the Brace suffer only half damage from attacks of opportunity. Perfect timing. We gain a 30% bonus to cover penetration, and the Navy officer himself also permanently gains 15% to cover penetration. I assume by permanently they mean for the rest of that fight. Or maybe just being this is also going to give us that. That's probably what it means. All right, Noble. This also works well for us. There's nobody more corrupt and unbound by the rules of society than those we trust to run it, right? The high nobility of the Imperium are enormously privileged and powerful elite, a breed apart from the common masses they rule. You grew to adulthood upon a spire of affluence and grandeur that towered high above the common imperial masses. You expected their obedience and lived upon the fruits of their toil, surrendered to your extended family in solemn fealty. We get intelligence and fellowship. We get bonuses to coercion and persuasion. These work very well for the storyline that we have set up for ourselves, and we can increase fellowship and persuasion. Following features will be available for upgrade during level up. Yep. Psyker. All right, well, we've got a couple different types of Psyker in the game. Psykers are, by definition, heretical. Thou shalt not suffer the Psyker to live, right? It is what they say. We've got brain powers. Those brain powers are granted to us by the warp, and they give us a unique connection to the warp, which is also the home of the chaos demons, the chaos gods, and all the other weird stuff out there in the world, you know. And so you can't be trusted, right? Sure, you're normal today, but tomorrow, who knows? Biomancers specialize in manipulating biological energy and processes with the power of their minds. They're masters of the flesh, learning to shape and influence the physical forms themselves, their allies, their enemies, according to their will. All right. Obviously, this one deals with biology. So, Sanctioned Psyker, or soul-bound to the will of the Emperor of Mankind. Sanctioned Psykers trigger psychic phenomena 20% less often. Biomancy focuses on manipulating living flesh and biological features. We can heal wounds and alter physical characteristics, and we start with a psi rating of 0. We get toughness and willpower. We get lore of warp and carouse. You know, there's a lot going on in your head, right? And you got to self-medicate. Something I and maybe some of you know too much about. So you know what? Who knows? This would be a good one for a future playthrough. I don't think today, though. Willpower and lore warp go up, and then as we go up, our psi rating goes up as we become a more powerful psyker. All right, Diviner. You know what? We can see the future, essentially, right? Discern the hidden past of the galaxy and know the course of events yet to come. These abilities allow diviners to look into the twisting strands of the materium and search the answers they seek, and sometimes influence the outcome of fate itself. Sanctioned Psyker again. Divination this time, gleaning information and using it in turn to turn fortune in your favor. You find useful insights everywhere, manifesting extrasensory abilities and glimpsing the future. Again, we start with the psi rating of 0, toughness, willpower, lore warp, carouse. Willpower and lore go up, and we again get our core. I've been kind of going back and forth between Vagabond and Navy Officer, and I think I'm going to go full Vagabond on this one. You guys have to let me know what you think of the new character creation. I'm sure this is not. I'm sure there will be changes. Remember, this is beta, and this is the very first blush of beta. We did not have a character creation at all in alpha, so this could change. We don't know, but what do you think about it so far? Are there enough options for you, even though some of them at the moment say, hey, we're not there yet? Like this one right here, Triumph. Moment of Triumph. You know, this is going to be one of those things that helps shape the way your characters turned out. One of those, you know, like when you have those job interviews and like, you know, tell us about a time where you know, you used your skills, your abilities, and your teamwork, and you were able to overcome, you know, a certain problem and succeed even against the odds, right? This is one of those interview questions you get. And this is one of those things. How does it shape you as a human? What did you do to move beyond a difficulty in your life? Darkest hour, you know, the opposite. You know, what is your greatest weakness? What was one of those times that you were unable to move beyond, right? Well, you know, I'm too much of a perfectionist. I always want things to be just right. You know, that's the type of answer for that, right? You know, what do you see in the darkness, right? That's what this is here. Doctrines. Oh, we got some doctrines here. Fighter, leader, adept, marksman. These are, I believe, your level 1 classes. And maybe your level 2? Can we be... Yeah. So we have to pick one of these initially, right? And then from there, we move on. So, does it say what we have to be for this? Focus. So fighter can be maybe it's fighter can be assassin, vanguard, hunter, leader. Are they all the same? All right. Fighters are combatants with exceptional melee prowess, capable of dealing high damage in close quarters, withstand and draw enemies' attention. There's something missing in there from less defended allies. We get melee, movement, dodge, armor, parry, taunt, and receiving attacks. Okay, I'm not sure. I guess that's a focal point, is making sure you get attacked rather than somebody else. We get charge. Just what it sounds like. You have to be at least 2 free cells. There has to be a little bit of momentum there. It doesn't count towards the limit of your attacks. Daring breach. Immediately restores all AP and MP and gains additional. This is one of those heroic abilities. Now, if I'm remembering right, when you get your momentum up, you're allowed to do these heroic abilities. If I'm remembering, that's how it works. Fighter immediately restores all their AP, MP, gain additional movement points equal to our agility bonus until the end of a turn, and doesn't lose MP after performing attacks. This turn, fighter has no limit on melee weapon attacks. It's a very good ability, as I recall. I don't remember if it was called that before or not, but it works well. This one, the purple one. So this one is when things are going well. This is when things are going badly. We gain 2 times our agility to movement points till the end. We have no limit on melee attacks and restore all IP. Starting next round or till the end of combat, fighter can't use charges, and his movement points are reduced by 3. Okay. Leader only contains a limited selection advancement pass for the second half of the version content. If you plan on playing this version, continue taking a different doctrine. All right. So, we won't take it then, but use willpower and fellowship to improve combat abilities. I had a little bit of trouble getting the most out of this in the alpha, if I'm honest. I think it's potentially very powerful, but I think it requires a lot of attention to detail and a lot of memorization and going, oh, okay, well, this is where I need this is where I need that. I need to know how to best use your things, just like a leader does. And so it's a little bit more difficult. Our heroic act is to give an ally an additional turn with full AP and MP, and they do not have a limit on attacks. So essentially just like this, Daring Breach, except as a leader, we give it to somebody else rather than getting to do it ourselves. And on this one, essentially the same, very, very similar thing. Ally doesn't have limit attacks. Our fellowship is halved, whereas we don't have that negative on this one. Adept. Use intelligence and perception to find and exploit different weaknesses. Probably the direction we're going to go. No defense can withstand an attack from an adept. Focal point, precise single attacks, defense penetration, area of effect, debuffs, consistent firing position. So, study enemies. Adept randomly distributes stacks of clue marks among enemies in a 4-square radius within a... Oh, this is different than it used to work. Okay, so we have an intelligence bonus. Distributes intelligence bonus, stacks, I guess, so if we have an intelligence bonus of 2, then we get 2 stacks of clue marks among enemies in a 4-square radius within a 10 cell of range. Okay. Clues remain until the end of combat and can add insight, a characteristic that increases damage against the studied enemies. Okay. If an adept, I'm going to right click on it so I can move over here. If an adept hits a target with clue, it deals an additional plus perception bonus plus insight damage, removes 1 stack of clue, and adds +1 insight to the adept until the end of combat. If the target dies from this attack while having clues, every clue gives +1 in. I like that. That's cool. And perception and insight, I think, are something we're going to work on. I think that's what we picked. I think those are things we're going to want. Okay, so our ultimate is immediately inflict 1 stack of clue on all enemies. We make a free attack against a target. It always hits. Till the end of combat, a target gains minus 30% penalty to dodge and a minus 30% penalty to armor. Okay, I would say this is one we want to use early. right? Because obviously we get that 1 stack on everything, but if we've already killed half of it, we're not getting nearly as much out of it. So as soon as we can, this is one you're going to fire off. Again, it also gives them everybody that 30% penalty to dodge and armor. And a free attack against a target that hits is not bad either. Same thing, until the end of combat, all attacks cost 1 AP more. So we have a negative that goes with it. Our characteristic can be intelligence, perception, weapon, ballistic. We're going to get awareness, Medicaid, tech use, logic, lore for Imperium, and Xenos. That works really well. I like that a lot. That's probably what we're going with. Marksman. Master of all ranged weapons, capable of quickly getting an advantage position, mercilessly raining fire on enemies. Marksmen is well trained to use a highly diverse range of arms, but they especially tend to blast their enemies with burst and area of effect weapons. So movement, range, attacks, cover, and dodge, burst, and fire, burst fire, and area of effect attacks. They get shot on the run. We gain +2, plus our agility bonus divided by 2, half our agility bonus in movement points. Our next attack costs 1 action point less, suffers -10 ballistic skill penalty, and does not count towards the limit of attacks per turn. So you get a free shot while running. And you get some more movement points. Little adrenaline pumping. Our ultimate, military excellence. We gain the ability to take a number of free attacks equal to their weapon's rate of fire, minimum of 2, with the cheapest weapon attack ability. Till the end of turn, the first attack against a new enemy automatically deals a critical hit. So if you can keep taking those shots at new enemies, you're going to keep getting crits. And they immediately reload the current weapon. So you're going to get the most out of that. Same thing, but until the next round, all of our AP are reduced by 1. Okay. Ballistic, agility, perception, strength, awareness, demolition, Medicaid. All right, we're going to go adept, but let's take a look. Assassin. We'll right-click here. Assassins are masters of finding and executing high-priority targets, so it means necessary. High damage, dodge and dodge penetration, boss killing, hit and run, keystone ability, study enemies. See, we'd already have that, so I don't know. I kind of wanted to go into it, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe that's not the way to go. Unless we're going to get double, right? We'll get it for 1 and for this. I don't think it's going to work that way, though. Dispatch. Attack against current enemy with the current weapon against enemy, cannot miss, plus 50% additional damage, deals an additional damage equal to 20% of the target's missing wounds. Okay. Okay, we'll see how that works. Assassin's dodge, dodge reduction, armor penetration, parry are doubled for this attack. Pretty good. But we receive 100% more damage until the end of combat. So I would say this is one you save for the final boss, right? Whereas the adept one is one you use right away. This one is one you use at the very end because you're going to take 100%. This is one you use to finish, not to start combat with, so to speak, right? Vanguard. Oops. Oh, hold on. What did I hit? Ooh. Hold on. How did I Oh. Okay. These are all the things we can learn, I guess, right? As we level up, I assume. Okay, well, we'll see how that works as we go. Let's take a look at the Vanguard first. Unstoppable beacon at the front, enduring enemy capable of enduring incredible amounts of enemy fire, becoming, this is your sword and board guide, right? Frontline leader, defensive support, temporary wounds, receiving attacks, attack redirection. Bulwark is the keystone. Until the next turn, they gain damage deflection equal to their stacks of unyielding beacon. Against ranged attacks, also the Vanguard becomes immune to push and forced movement effects. Will tell us what... Can't click unyielding beacon. I wish we could. I would like to see that change. If anybody who matters sees this, I would think that when you give me keywords like this, I should be able to mouse over and click on them and find out more about said keyword. I think that would be nice. Unyielding guard. We attack every enemy that attacks the Vanguard's allies in a 3-cell radius around the Vanguard and always strikes back when being attacked. Okay, and the negative one, so to speak, we receive 30% more damage. Okay. You have to be a fighter. This one gives us a leader. All right, so this one has to be a fighter or a leader going into it. Did this one have that and I just missed it? This one needs to be a fighter or adept. Okay, so this is going to be one of our adept options. Hunter probably is the other one. Yep, marksman or adept. Okay. Notice we're not seeing leader down here, right? So we're missing some additional, probably an additional one of these. So, methodical killer, leaving a lane of dead bodies in their path. A hunter chooses a new target while the previous one has not even realized it's dead already. Crit hits, defense reduction, high priority target killing, repositioning. This will probably be the route we go so we don't double up on those keystone abilities. Beginning of each turn combat, we have 3 charges of hunt down the prey. The ability can be used any number of times per turn as long as we have charges. Let's right click on that. When we kill a prey, they gain a bonus till the end of combat, depending on the prey enemy difficulty type. The Roman figure on the enemy's icon. 1 to 2, plus 25% of the hunter maximum wounds is temporary wounds. All right, 3 to 4. We get crit damage and crit hit chance, and both of it's 5 to 6. Okay. Wild Hunt. Makes several attacks. Number of attacks equal to the number of preys in combat. So if we've got all 3 of them out, then we're going to get 3 of those attacks amongst all of the preys in our line of sight. They're always hits and always crits. And this is the same, but our ballistic skill, perception, agility are all reduced by 20. I think that's probably the route we're going, but we're going to start here with Adept. We're going to hit next. Now, we get skills. Our skills are going to be based on our stat. Our strength is 30. So if we change our strength, you'll see that our athletics goes up. So one thing we can do is we can look down through here and we can say, this is a skill I need. And as such, maybe I should learn something about it. There's a lot of intelligence skills. Logic, decipher puzzles, operate cogitators, right? Lore Imperium, Lore Warp, Lore Xenos, all require intelligence. Medicae, and tech use. Allows us to repair mechanical items. Perception gets us awareness, right? Obviously, I think makes sense. Our perception is 35, but remember we got a bonus of 5 from our class. So you can see there's the base is 30. We've got a bonus to it, which is why it's 35. Fellowship gets you commerce and persuasion. I kind of want to put points in these 3. I think that's where we need to be. Our fellowship is particularly bad. I'm going to put a little bit into that. I'm going to put a little bit into perception. I'm going to put a little bit into intelligence. Do I want to put any into agility just for its physical abilities? Quickness, reflexes, poise. I think that works well with what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and put 5 into that and maybe 5 into ballistic skill. We didn't go super deep into anything. I assume we could. But I think that's fine. And we'll hit next. We get a ship. Von Valencius, let's hit random. The Invictum. Oh, I like this. The Unforgiven. Well, okay, if we're just going to do cool Western movies. True Grit, could that be one too? Daring Destiny. Okay, I feel more like Dudley Do-Right and the Daring Destiny. That might be a playthrough. Destiny Hunter. Mercy from Heaven. Charybdis. Are we relooking? Haven of Seekers. Apex Predator. Atonement of the Abyss. Mercy, we saw that one. First Created. I think, Fatum Audacium, right? All right. I like all that, but we're just going to go with Rome. All in caps, though. There we go. All right. 1.6 kilometers in length. Is that about a mile? .3 kilometers of beam at the fins, 6 megatons, 26,000 crew. Oldest and mightiest void ship belonging to the Von Valencius dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its weapons and turrets deliver hard-hitting volleys with pinpoint accuracy. Not so pinpoint. I've flown it before in Alpha. It wasn't that good. Its plasma drives are rugged yet reliable in extreme conditions. Slow. That's what it means with slow. It's like saying she's got a good personality. Well, they're reliable. The flagship size and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing smaller, faster raiders and for hunting countless pirates, xenos, and heretics in the Cronus Expanse. Numerous Von Valencia's rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vessel, and with a few minor updates, the flagship has continued to faithfully serve the Von Valencia's dynasty. And this is a summary. This is our character right here. There's all our abilities, our characteristics, our weapon skill, our ballistic skill, strength, toughness, agility, intelligence, perception, willpower, and fellowship. Yeah, I don't think our willpower. I think it's fine that willpower is our dump stat. We are not likely to say no to shiny objects, right? And then our skills below mostly follow those with a few bonuses, such as persuasion that has a boost because of our abilities. We are an adept. We are Forge World with analytics implants, with a vagabond background. We don't have a moment of triumph or a darkest hour yet, and our ability is study enemies. So I'm going to hit complete right after this, but that will be the next episode. So thanks for watching, guys. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. Yes, we will be back tomorrow with some more Rogue Trader. Thank you. Cheers.